Hello, hello. How is everyone doing? I think we're live. It's Friday. I've got mints. I've got some Diet Coke. Everything you could need for a Friday evening of fun-filled enjoyment. So, bit of an unexpected stream today. I just thought, why not pop on and continue with our SeaPower adventures. I just thought that would be a nice fun thing for us to do today. And hopefully we can succeed in our mission. It's I think it's actually quite a straightforward mission today, if I remember correctly. I think when last time we left off we were prepping to raid into the Northern Pacific. So that's what I named the stream. So, let's have a look at where we left off, shall we? So, that should pop up. If it doesn't, I'll be very sad. There we go. Just took a moment there. So yes, this is where we left off last week. We were on to mission number 4, called Into the North Pacific, with our task force being instructed to raid North Pacific convoys. So just to give a quick recap on what we've done, we departed from Vladivostok with our flagship, the Minsk, and our task force. We sunk a Japanese submarine that was operating in our waters, and then we proceeded to break through the Soya Strait between Japan and the islands here, and then we broke through the Kuril Strait, and we sank a USN fast convoy that was moving westbound. We've now moved out into the open ocean, which puts us here, right into merchant traffic lanes, and we are to sink 2 convoys, a southern convoy and an eastern convoy. So, hopefully that all goes off without a hitch today. We are, in terms of supplies, not too bad. We are pretty much fully armed on the Minsk. We've only shot off 10 of our SNA frees, not that they've been very helpful. Hi Schroeder, how are you, man? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying your beautiful Friday evening, as I am. We've shot off one of our SNA 4s. Our missile cruiser, the Slava, is fully armed. We've shot quite a what's that, 20, just under 20 SNA 6 missiles. Our Vladivostok is out of anti-ship missiles, but we will be resupplying at Petrovplask, which is just up here after this mission, so that's nothing to worry about. The Rezhny has 4 of its anti-submarine missiles stocked. The Admiral Zakharov has 6 of them left, and 45 of our good interceptors. It's black, sorry. It might be because you hurt your ankle. Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear that. Give me a quick moment and I'm just going to check to make sure that the people that are viewing this stream on vertical can actually see. Let's have a little nosy. It should have been set up for everyone. Oh, actually, do you know what? It might be this. I might need to switch the stream over to game capture. For those that are on Twitch, I'm streaming this across multiple platforms. One of the platforms is vertically on YouTube, so they should be seeing a vertical canvas. And you have to actually, when you're doing this with Twitch, OBS has to do a little plugin to get it set up. So you have to do like 2 separate plugins. It's very strange. And then you can stream onto YouTube with a vertical canvas. So let's just see if we can actually load that up, and I'll double check and make sure it's not completely pitch black, otherwise there's no point in streaming to it. It shouldn't be, I don't think. So hopefully it should be all good and fan-dabby-dozy for us going forward. Let's check live. Let's have a little nosy. Make sure all my sounds are off as well. Yep, that should be all good. well gonna go in a bit here as... Oh, yeah, I can hear my own voice. The stream. No, it's... Okay, so I can't actually see. What's this we've got here? Oh, Schrodinger, man, that's very generous of you, sir. Thank you very much. You should have had an alert come up on the screen. I don't know why it's not bothered to show up. That's very generous of you, sir, though. I really appreciate that. Brandon, how are you doing, buddy? Hope you're having a good Friday. But yeah, Schrodinger, thanks very much, man. I hope you have a really good Friday, and I hope your ankle gets better soon. Praise be to Jeebus, sir. Whoever you wanna. You too, buddy. You too, buddy. You have a blessed day now. So we have the Grezny and we have the Admiral Falcon. So I think we're actually in good shape to combat here. Anything that the enemies decide to throw at us. I mean, it should be a relatively simple affair. I'm not foreseeing any massive problem or anything like that. So hopefully it'll all be a-okay. I'm just gonna, before we begin, I'm just gonna double check that the simulations are working fine. I don't think they are working today, so I'm just gonna pull them back up, do a little bit of editing. Make sure that I had to reinstall the that might be what it is. I had to reinstall the elements controls, so we might not get any alerts this stream. But what I will do is I'll for the next stream I'll have to reinstall it and put it over, just so that everyone's alerts come up. But I will just read them out. Thank you, Schrodinger, for the 5 gifted. Much blessed day be upon you. So while we are getting set up, why don't we read over our briefing? So. Strike Force Kalevsky. I need to give it another name because I can't pronounce these names. I'm just going to call it Strike Group Minsk. Strike Force Minsk is to interdict enemy convoys in the Northern Pacific. Enemy submerged assets concentrated near Japanese mainland and not expected in this AO. Friendly intercepted from Petropavlovsk, denying enemy air cover in this AO. National technical means indicate 1 large convoy east and 1 small convoy south of your position. Expect course and location marked on map. Southern convoy contains 1 times Spruance class destroyer and additional ASW escorts. Eastern convoy contains 1 cruiser, 2 destroyers and additional ASW escorts. Neutral traffic expected light, possible transiting in groups. Hostile merchant traffic not expected to be in shipping lanes. All isolated hostile merchants sunk or withdrawn to convoy assembly areas. Right, close to transit after for rest and replenishment, post-mission happy hunting. Okay, so this group to the east is going to be our main concern then, because it's going to come into our range while we're sailing south. So I think from what the plan shows us is we have to sail south and then turn directly east to face off against this cruiser group. That's going to pose an interesting challenge because we are limited. We might have to break out the Slava, but we don't have to worry about expending missiles or munitions because we're getting restocked after this mission anyway. So I think in terms of formations, I'm going to keep it as it is and just get us onto the battlefield, as it were, and see what we have to go up against. I didn't even check the weather conditions either, but it's 7 Zulu. Yeah, so it is nighttime. Unlucky. Okay, so air and submerged assets are not expected, so we're just focusing on the convoy today. And here is our flagship, the beautiful Minsk in all of her glory. Locally it's actually 6 AM, so it will be getting lighter today, which is good. So from the destination and for the lines it's given us, it looks like we're to go into the area and then abort out of the area, and that should give us time to sink both convoys. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is I am going to get my early warning aircraft in the air from the Chernova Ukraina. So she's going to launch her early warning helicopter. We're transiting at quite a high speed for raiding. We're going about 26, 27 knots. Get the early warning helicopters up, and we're also going to scramble the... Well, we've not got any air cover to worry about, so we don't need to worry about alert fighters. What I am going to... What's that? We got a message there. It seems the destruction of your fast convoy has significantly reduced hostile surface activity. Contrary to pre-war estimates, there are no SAGs surface and deterring surface attacks. That is very interesting. So for those that weren't with us last week we sunk a convoy. In the game it would have been 2 days ago. And because of that, there are no United States Navy surface action groups patrolling the convoy routes. I wonder if that means that our earlier briefing was inaccurate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare a strike group of 6 forgers and ready them for launch off of the Minsk. The helicopter is just revving up. She'll fly south and see if she can establish radar contact. And then if we can deter that enemy warships are not in the area, we don't need to expend the missiles on the Slava. Although it might make for good practice if we're getting replenished. But ideally we want to keep this a little bit LARPy. So we want to, you know, we wouldn't, if we're not extending it in real life, we don't want to expend it here basically. Is the thought process I'm going with for this playthrough. But the, oh there you go, her rotors are spinning now. So we're getting Vityaz 1 off the deck. Oh, that lightning. Very scary. I've got an EM emission here travelling at 20 knots. Emitting 1 microwatt. Could be anything really at this range. But we will get the early warning helicopter up and see what it has to say. Okie dokie, there it goes. So we're going to get the Vityaz 1 to fly south, right towards the convoy. And, oh, actually, I gave that order to the Slava. Let me just return you to formation, make sure I've got the helicopter, and bring the helicopter up to 6,000 feet, and we'll turn on its big bulge surface search radar. And hopefully, as this gets higher and higher and higher, it'll be able to see more and more and more. The main concern for us will obviously be the cruiser group. However, if the recent intelligence is correct, that cruiser group no longer exists. The cruiser group, if it's carrying something like a Tomahawk, has about this much of a range. So again, if it's sailing towards us, it could pose a threat. If it's a cruiser protecting it, then it'll have an anti-air defense cover around that size, and then obviously around this size for harpoon attacks. So I've got my fingers crossed that the initial intelligence report was incorrect and the new one is correct. But we're just getting radar contacts now. What is this? Merchant traffic. Oh, right. So if I'm correct, then what this might be is I think the early intelligence report. If you read here, or maybe it's not up here yet. This might be the unguarded merchantman. So what I'm going to do in that case is launch off the anti-ship group just now. And while they're launching, I will prepare a second strike group of anti-ship attack aircraft. So bring the forgers up onto deck. Same as we did last time. And they're going to basically proceed back to our east-north, or basically just straight north by the time they get there, and do a VID check on this convoy. See what's going on there. And with any hope, we can get a couple extra points for sinking merchant traffic. Still, I just love... If you don't have SeaPower yet, get SeaPower. It's such a fun game. If you're a history buff especially, you like the idea of these alternate scenarios, it will be especially appealing towards you. Can't speak today. It's been a very long week. Cannot speak in the slightest. So we'll just wait, and there goes our first forger. Straight off the deck. Turn her into this angle, shall I? It's not much of an angle for takeoff. There it goes. There's our first fighter away. So what we'll do is we'll wait until they have assembled. We're keeping our helicopter basically in the clouds on a trajectory south. Speed things up a bit in time compression. Okay, so we know there's probably definitely enemy surface vessels here because that is a helicopter's emission. 1,000 feet, 130 knots, that is almost definitely a helicopter. So we know we're going to be facing surface combatants now, which is good to know, I suppose. You can see the last of the forgers coming off the deck there. Beautiful. So there's 4 ships in the line, so that'll be Letnik 1. I'm going to have you guys proceed north at 10,000 feet. And Letnik 5 will go to the other contact we have to our north. There she goes. So basically, we know these are definitely hostile, so we'll mark them as hostile. This, I'm assuming, could be the enemy vessel. We could actually maybe even contact it. And it doesn't respond to our contacts. So we can actually do that with the other ships as well. Okay, so these are actually, they've all responded. These are neutral merchantmen. Okay, so there's no point in sending the fighters over that way then. What about you? Okay, they're all neutral merchantmen. In which case, we will keep our surface group to the south then. And we'll bring them up to 30,000 feet. Letnik 5 as well, we'll do the same with them. We just want to get close enough with our helicopters to get a radar ping off this surface group. Basically just want to sail right into them. And these are, they're pretty far out from our group, so we don't have to worry about harpoons or anything like that as of yet, which is good for us. So Letnik 5 will have off to the south, and we'll put them at about 30,000 feet. And again, these are just armed with FABs, the FAB 500s. So we'll time compress a little bit more. Again, we really want to see some more missions or radar contacts from our early warning aircraft, but again, slow speed for our early warning aircraft, and we don't want to get our strike group too close, because these are expensive aircraft, believe it or not. Even though they're just basic forgers, they are expensive, so we don't want to just waste them needlessly. I'm kind of surprised though, if you want to look at the details of our surface search radar, you'll see this is a big bulge. We can get a target at nearly 124 nautical miles, wherein it's more than 1,000 meters squared, which is most large targets, to be fair. So we really should start to pick up some enemies if they are in this area. Again, we'll just have to keep time compressed. There we go. So we've got a large radar echo. I'm assuming this could be one of the merchant ships. Actually, this could be the Spruance. This could be the Spruance that we did. Let's see. Could be this guy. So we'll just say it's in default configuration. It'll be armed with... Oh, it actually could... This is... I forgot Spruance is armed with tomahawks. That is a concern if it detects us. Hopefully it's just in its default configuration. It's only got 4 of them. And there's another radar contact. So we only know there's one Spruance, so we'll need to figure out which Spruance is the right one. We'll keep our fleet in ecom for the time being. We might come to regret that though. And it'll definitely be going for our anti-submarine screen first if it is firing at us at any point. Okay, we're starting to see the convoy now. We'll keep the time compression on the go until the whole fleet comes into range. Okay, so there's the convoy. So now we really need to sort of figure out who is the... who on earth is the Spruance? Now you'd think the Spruance would be at the front of the convoy, perhaps. But these are all large radar echoes, so any one of these really could be the Spruance. We'll just let our units get closer, shall we? And we'll actually start to close in now with our flight of aircraft. Just in preparation for a strike. Again, we really need more tracking data. We're only getting vague pings back. However, if we go into our briefing again, contains 1 times Spruance class and additional ASW escorts. So there's more than 1 warship here. Potentially. And also based on the amount of helicopters we're detecting, they've almost definitely got something like a Perry with them or a Nox frigate. So, hey Dragon, how are you, my man? Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. We're just catching you up. We're just playing Hunt the Merchantman. I think we might only be seeing a partial convoy. 4 ships seems quite small for a convoy. The thing is, we do need to start bringing our fighters closer if we want to hit them at all. Again, we can continue time compression. Oh, there we go. A semi-large contact. This could be promising. This could be one of the ASW escorts, perhaps. I doubt there would be a merchantman outside of a convoy. So perhaps these could be the convoy, and there might be 1 ASW here, and then there could be another ASW down here. Perhaps. I think an experiment might be in order. In true Soviet fashion. Oh, actually, there's another one there. Okay. We're getting a shape of the convoy now. In which case, we might try a little Soviet experiment. We might bring our fighters down the bow. So, if these are ASW escorts, they're most likely frigates. For example, it could be the Brute class frigate. In which case, its anti-air defense is here, towards the back, so it would have to angle to hit us. It could be the Perry, in which case, actually, that's bad for us, because it's got it at the front. Or it could be the Nox, which has it at the back. So I'm going to gamble that it's not the Perry, and that it's potentially the Nox. To test that theory, I'm going to send 2 sacrificial lambs. These 2 brave pilots are going to run down the bow of the ship and drop bombs. And hopefully these 2 pilots are just going to be hamming on their radio the whole time, telling the rest of the crew what they see. It's a true Soviet strategy. They did it many times. Can't remember what history book I read that in, but I'm sure that if they could do it, they would have done it, right? It's the Soviets we're talking about. You know, they're a big fan of human wave tactics. I also think there's a chance there might be a 3rd escort here, just based off the rules of what's it called? Lost the ability to speak today. What's it called? Symmetricity? I'm having a stroke. I'm actually having a stroke. I'm too far gone. That's what happens when you work all week and you get to Friday and you think you're gonna have a great time, and surprise, no great time. Oh, that could also be an SW. There's so many escort ships here potentially. It might not be the most reasonable move actually to attack head on. We could send in Lednik 1 as well, along with them. So we could have Lednik 1 approach sort of from this angle. And then we could have Lednik 5 approach from like this angle. So they have to basically divide their fire. So half the convoy will have to fire this way, half the convoy will have to fire this way. And then we can box them in basically. But I am positive that these are the escorts. And I'm assuming one of these might be the Spruance. Because the Spruance has a large signature. And we know there's a cruiser group off to our east, so we want to keep our missiles for that. And we'll basically do an all-out attack on the cruiser group. Which should hopefully be successful in driving them off. And then after that we will return to base and refuel and rearm. All going well. Right, let's time compress a tad more. We don't want to get too close because these guys do have anti-air. We're at 50 miles out now. Time compress a bit more. There you go. So we're seeing the other end of the convoy here. Lednik 5. You'll need to keep going a little bit forward. I'm going to halt Lednik 1 around here. This is the bigger formation of forgers. It's 4 forgers in formation. Each of these is armed with 2 Fab 500s, which will pack a punch. And while we're actually doing that, we should probably prepare our next 6. Oh, we've only got 3. 3 will be enough, surely. Actually, we'll leave 1. We'll just do 2 for this sortie. Anti-ship. Ready both of them for launch. Did I say... Oh, actually I have 6 already. Okay, so they're ready anyway, that's fine. Lednik 5 is looking good. Perfect, right. So they're now going to hit the deck. They're going down to 50 feet. And Lednik 1's going to follow them in. Time compress that a little bit. Here we go. So, this is now a joint attack run, basically. We know this whole convoy, we know at least these outsides are definitely hostile. This is most definitely a screen. And I think the front runner will probably be the Spruance, unless the Spruance is at the back, and we just can't see it. We'll just alter the big bulge radar there. And we'll actually increase the height as well, bring us up to 8,000 feet, see if that gives us a better picture. Yep. Good, you guys are dive into the deck, fantastic. Lednik 5, also dive into the deck. So, Lednik 1's going to split off into groups, take out these 2. Lednik 5 is going to take out these 2, is the plan. They're now on the deck. And these are going to be coming in from 2 different angles. Right down the middle. Now this is slightly concerning because I don't want to get myself boxed in. What I might do in this case, I might take Lednik 3 and 4, break them off like that. And then Lednik 1 and Lednik 2, I'm going to run right down the beam of this. So 3 and 4 are breaking off. Lednik 5 is going right for the wing. But they all should be on the deck now, basically. Okay, they're all heading towards their targets. Lednik 1, I think, is going to arrive first. And I'm going to have Lednik 1 now select its target. FAB's on 7019. Lednik 2, follow up behind him. And I'm going to have these guys start turning now. And follow behind. And then Lednik 5-1. I'm going to have you. Okay, they're now under fire. I think they'll be receiving... They're not turning though. What kind of fire are you receiving? Oh, it's... main gunfire. Okay. Visual small. What's that coming in? Is that helicopter? It is. We want a visual confirmation on this target, ideally before we drop something on it. That's going into their pop-up. Lednik 2, I'm now going to break you off here with a diversionary attack. You're going to go right for the convoy. And Lednik 4, I'm going to have you go straight for the convoy as well. There we go. Oh, here come the missiles. Ah, yeah, it's right there. That's the... You can see the spruance there shouting up missiles. So you're going to go right for the spruance. So is Lednik 2. Lednik 1 should be dropping our bombs. That is a Nox. There we go. Lednik 1, bombs away. Lednik 3, bombs away. Let's get a really nice view for this. Let's see if we can see the other bombs explode in the distance. Probably not. We'll settle for this one. Yeah, perfect. That's 2 Noxes taken out. Lednik 2, I want you to hit the one behind. Like that. You're heading back to base. Did we get one shot down? No, we must have lost one. You've still got 2. And you're engaging 001. Which will be the... Oh, they're going to get killed with sea sparrows. Yep, so that's it's the USS Kidd. Yeah, it's a Kidd class destroyer. Okay, so our intelligence was off. It was not Spruance class, it was Kidd class. Lednik 1's going for the dodge, which it does brilliantly. Another Nox class. Lednik 5's coming in, dropping off its fabs. That's one more down. If they hit, which they will. You're going for pop-up. Fantastic. And you're hitting the Nox, which is there. That's another Nox sunk. And you're coming in. You're going to be my hero. Sink the destroyer, please. Sea-Wiz is just a state of mind. Sea-Wiz is just a state of mind. Sea-Wiz is just a state of mind. Bombs are away. If you die now, I don't care. It's like, here we go. Splash. Okay. Lednik 5-2 was shot down. Damn. The rest of the formation is now getting itself out of dodge. So we lost 2 fighters there. For 2 cheap fighters lost, we've sunk 3 ships and heavily damaged the Kidd. Fantastic though. What a great result. I'm going to now launch... Oh, we've lost another one. Lednik 2 has gone down. Lednik 5 and that are still retreating out. How many have we got left? 3 fighters left. Kidd's heavily damaged though. I don't think it's going to be causing any hassle to us. So we're going to send in the next wave of That was a good first strike for a Friday. that was I think we pulled that off pretty well, do you not think? I'm gonna disband these formations, join them back up with Lednik 1. Lednik 1. Lednik 2 actually, I didn't mean to do that. You are my new formation. Never mind, disband your formation, just put you apart as Lednik 4. And bring back Lednik 3. So those 3 got out of dodge perfectly. How are the Nox frigates doing? We didn't really inspect the damage. Oh, yeah. Yeesh. I don't think they're coming back from that one. Slowly but surely, their decks are gonna... Yeah, there we go, decks awash. With... Oh. Yep, sort of, maybe. Yeah, so it was the Nox class frigates, which means we made the right call. Which was good for us. So the Kidd is dead in the water, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like we've knocked out her Sea-Wiz as well, because her Sea-Wiz is static. It's not on its default posting, neither is their main gun. Oh, actually, no, their main gun is, never mind. Looks like their front AA system seems to be jammed in place. The rear one seems to be off as well. No radar signature. So I'm assuming these are the merchantmen that are here for our perusal. How's Lednik 4 doing? Just getting off the deck? Perfect. I love it when a plan comes together. I think I deserve a Tic Tac for that one. Lovely jubbly. Nice sweet Tic Tac. So we'll send this sortie out. Hopefully we'll get even better results because we're attacking unmanned merchantmen this time. Well, that and probably 1 or 2 more Nox class. However, I doubt that causes any issues. My helicopter is still moving closer. Unless it's being concealed by these signatures, there might be another Nox here, where my cursor is. The kid's still on fire, but it doesn't look like it's sinking. So we might need to hit the kid again. The USS Scott. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. The USS Moinster. The actual USS Nox. And the USS Truett. All down to the murky deep. This one seems to have come to a stop as well. They've stopped with the formation. Even better for us. Strike Group 4 is now clear to move out to the target. We don't even really need you to change your altitude, really. We can just hold you as you are. But we will bring you up a little bit just to conserve fuel. Let's bring you up to 10,000 feet. And then the final 2 from this formation should be coming up the ramp. Let's go back onto... There we go. Get them all off deck. That one's off, and that one's off. So Lednik 8 as well, we're just going to head direct south. 6,000 feet. Kid's still on fire, good news for us. And Lednik 4 flight is on its way. We just passed our Alert helicopter. There's our helicopter down there. That little speck is ours. Look at that. This has definitely been our workhorse, and someone actually put this in the campaign's comment section. But I wholeheartedly agree. This campaign has made me appreciate the Forger. And the scenarios I played with it before, I hated it, but now I'm starting to see it's like a wasp, you know. You get a bunch of them together. You just rush a bunch of targets. It's great. I don't know much about the Forger. That'll be something I'm going to do some research on, actually, maybe later. Come back to you guys next time with some information on it. Because it is a very unique aircraft. It's the Soviets' VTOL aircraft. Maybe their equivalent of our Harrier, although maybe less intricate in the sense that the Harrier had much more advanced armament than and outlived the Yak by quite a substantial margin. So it is something that's always interested me. We'll just time compress. And we're getting close now, so we will hit the deck, sea skim. And the objective here is just to basically finish off the Kid and this one and any other ships in this area. We'll VID these, make sure they're enemy combatants, and then we will prosecute. I think Lednik 8 will probably be our merchantman killers. Okay, Lednik 4 have broken back through the clouds, and they are now on approach. This is a suboptimal angle to actually be approaching from. So what we're going to do is we're going to break off slightly and then reapproach. Again, whenever I see sea skimming aircraft, my first thoughts always go to like Argentina. How can it not? So once we basically hit this line, we will break off. Should we break off 2-4? Because it's the straggler. Yeah, we'll break off 2-4 and then have it bring its attack run in. The rest of the flight is going to angle itself with the Kid. Hopefully we don't get shot at. It'll be a good start, wouldn't it? Looks like the rest of our fleet is returning to the Minsk and is sort of coming into land. The rest of the Yaks are in holding patterns. coming into land. And we're still not receiving any fire, but I'm just going to touch wood here, just not to jinx it. Okay, final approach. Looks like they've got their engines back up and they're trying to circle. There it is there. So he's going to turn. And he's beelining it for the target now. We're going to do the same with number 3. He's going to break away, hit the kid. And number 2 is going to do the same thing. And number 1 is going to come down this side. So, not perfect there. They are all approaching at different speeds. 3's been engaged first. I think that will be the kid, who has put out all of her fires, actually. Fair play. So, providing that the kid does not shoot the aircraft down, this should be a successful run. I think 2-4 might reach first. Yep, 2-4's going in for the pop-up. Can't even see, we've not got visual yet. There we go, visual, semi-large. Should pop up any second now in front of the pilot. There it is. It's, oh, it's a Japanese ship. Interesting. That's actually really interesting. That's the Japanese Chikaze destroyer. Very interesting. Well, it's dead now, so I don't suppose it matters, but that was. Okay, do a finishing strike on the kid. Bang. And these are enemy merchants, so we'll just bring in these ones for strikes. I think we just took out the middle of the kid there. Oh yeah, look, the superstructure collapsed inwards. Yay. Same with the Chikaze as well. I think we broke the middle of the Chikaze. Not really. Well, we squished the back of it, I guess. Okay. Let's sink these merchant ships. Actually, let's break off and try that again, shall we, for that one? You're way too close. You're not too close, though. Bombs away. That was a very strange way of dropping your bombs, but fair play, I guess. There you go, there's one merchantman down. You go for the center merchantman. Landing 8, you guys can hit the deck as well, just so you get a nice pop-up attack. They're very accurate, the pop-up attacks, why we do them. Here comes the pop-up. Turning to release the bombs. And here goes your 2. There they go. So we had no casualties on that run, all 4 aircraft heading back to base. We got one more American merchantman to destroy. Atlantic 8 are now coming in to prosecute them. Let's speed this up. Atlantic 8-1, you'll have the honours to do the pop-up. I must imagine it is pretty scary to see that coming at you. Like at sea level as well, you see the bombs on it through the binoculars probably. You must be terrified. I would be terrified, not ashamed in admitting that. If I saw a fast jet approaching my unarmed merchant ship with bombs. Okay, the last merchant in the southern convoy disappears in a massive fireball. The water is covered in life rafts. Do you spend precious time saving hapless survivors, or do you move on to the other convoy? I think we're good for points right now, and I kind of just want to get in and get out, so I think we're just going to start prepping our attack on the second convoy. I'm going to dip back down to 6,000 feet for this helicopter, and I'm actually going to prep the second helicopter as well. We do have another early warning helicopter from the Vladivostok, which is going to launch. There we go. So we used the Vladivostok in the last mission, so her 4 tubes are empty. She's got no sepals left. But we do have 8 sandboxes on the Minsk, another 16 on the Slava, and I believe at the very rear of the convoy we've got 8 sepals on the Admiral Falcon. So the key thing here will be to get some confirmation of what we're up against. There was rumours of a cruiser in that convoy, so I suppose we could send a few rescue helicopters out. Should we get a convoy on the go? Just abort these ASW helicopters. How many can we launch? We can launch all 12 if we want. Empty. Just ready all of them to go and pick up survivors. We might as well. We'll have the time anyway. So we will get all of our jets back on deck. And we'll move our early warning helicopter, although I think it's going to be quite a while before they come into view. But it could be wrong. Could be about to pop into view any second now. We're now receiving the flight back. The second early warning's up as well, so we'll go ahead and send that out. Straight to the west, bring her up to 6,000 feet and put our early warning radar on. And there goes our second helicopter with its blades not turning. Very interesting. I suppose that's what happens. Okay, so the last of the aircraft are landing, going back into the hangar. We really need to, I need to keep doing that. Every time I launch this mission, I end up putting the Falcon way too close to the convoy. This is quite a tight formation as well, but, you know, I like it. It serves my purpose as well for anti-submarine screening, keeping all the center groups close together. Although if we were actually going up against submarines in open water, we probably wouldn't want them this close together, but something to worry about for another mission, perhaps. So we'll continue our time loop there. We have to be wary as well for these helicopters, but I think without fuel they'll eventually sink, or not sink, what's the word? Crash. Again, you can watch the Yak aircraft coming in for a landing here. You can see its VTOL thrusters, directional thrusters, allowing it to come in and hover basically. Again, so much attention to detail in this game, it is fantastic. Okay, get it touchdown. And plop, right onto the deck. Fantastic. Right, we'll get the last of those on board then, shall we? And then we'll launch the rescue helicopters. Maybe while we're doing that, we'll have the enemy show up on our radar. It's not looking like it. Well, I guess now would be a good time to launch the rescue helicopters then, I suppose. Let's get all of our rescue helicopters up. And we want to put them all into a formation. Big formation of rescue helicopters. And we're just going to rename this. What should we call it? Just rescue. 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 There we go. Rescue. And all the helicopters are going to join the rescue team. Look at them all coming up on deck. The good thing about the helicopters on the Minsk is they can all launch at once. They're not like the fighters, we have to come up one at a time. So they'll all come up into their individual places. There they are. So I think they launch 4 at a time, basically. I wonder if you can actually get more than 4 on the deck. Oh, you can! Look at all the look at the amount of them you can get on the deck at once. It's fantastic. Okay, well you can all continue to join the rescue formation. Is that our max? We might be able to fit one down here if there's room. Or you just go into their slot, I suppose. We're just going to have a massive convoy of helicopters. Perfect. It's just what Stalin wanted. Oh my god, it's a bit excessive, isn't it? There might be a lot of survivors, you never know. We only dropped Fab 500s on them. What's the worst that could have happened? They're all going to hold formation while our helicopters take off. Nah, that's a cool shot. Get a screenshot of that. Helicopter carrier indeed. Okay, we've got one more to come up. I think it might be that one. Okay, so the rescue formation's assembled. Now they've just all got to spool up and take off. And these all hold 10 people each, so a good amount of people here. I don't know why they're going to assemble all the way over there. They really should be assembling like in front of the formation. But yeah, I want you all to fly over right to the center of the formation. No time to lose. All the other ships are watching this with just absolute disbelief. Imagine you're on the you're just on the Slava. You're just a lowly crewman and you're just sitting watching all the helicopters depart like little bees. I'm all over there, having a great old time. Okay, right. So we'll put them back on time compression. Let them do their thing. I'm still a little concerned that we haven't seen any radar signatures yet, but oh well. Should we get a look at them all in convoy? Look, that's a Flight of the Valkyries moment, but it's the Soviets, Soviet ride of the Valkyries. I need to get a little screenshot of that. That's wonderful. Zoom in. I just want to catch. I want to try and get them all in the frame. Yeah, that's good enough. Maybe a closer, a more zoomed in version. There we go. There's some screenshots for later, but that's hilarious. And these poor American helicopters. I hope they picked up their own survivors, because if not, very heartless of them. Surely they can't fly around for too long. You're about to run out of fuel, so before you do, I'm going to take you all the way up to 10,000 feet. See if you can see anything else from a higher altitude, but it doesn't look like it. Most unfortunate. They're definitely heading this way, because according to the briefing they were supposed to be heading that way. I suppose we could always turn towards the convoy as well. It'll give us better launching parameters. Rescues, the rescue fleet have ton of range. No concerns there. Do I get extra fuel, less fuel consumption if I head up? No, I don't actually have less fuel consumption. Okay, keep you at 6,000 then. Okay, I guess what I'll do then is I'll I'll start heading directly towards. I hope that doesn't cause any crazy crashes with our ships. I think the Vladivostok's gonna have to cross the Minsk. Maybe. Okay. Start breaking off into different groups. Just take a couple survivors from every ship. This is how we charm the Americans. This is the great peace offensive. They're going to be overcome with our kindness after blowing them all up. This is actually in the 7 Days to the Rhine playbook. Like, after we win the war, we're going to be nice to the Americans. Okay, I think they've all got roughly a target now. Search and rescue operations in the Northern Pacific. I don't suppose it would be a nice place to have your ship sunk. You have to listen to the story of the Indianapolis Is that all the survivors? Okay, you can return to base. You can return to base. You can go for this merchant as well. Is there any more survivors left over? Too deep down to see anyway. Oh, well, we've picked up 20 survivors. That's pretty good. We'll hopefully get another 20 survivors from the Nox that was over here. Speed up a bit. Oh, we're starting to pick up the convoys helicopters now. That's good. Okay, you can descend now to rescue altitude. Can't even see the life rafts. Oh, we're right on top of the life rafts. There you are. Okay, same with this merchant ship. Get you down to 20 feet. Pick up survivors. And pick up the Japanese crew. A lot of news recently about Japan and I say Soviets, China and Japan. Japan. I can't speak. It's Friday. I'm so sad. Between Japan and Russia over the Kuril Islands of all things. Who would have known they still want those. Still want those back. Never would have crossed my mind that they might still have an inkling for that territory. Okay, you've got survivors on board. You've got survivors on board. I don't think you were close enough. You're also not low enough. Right, you pick up their survivors. And you pick up their survivors. So, oh no, we should get well over 100 survivors from this convoy. There we go. You have got all your survivors. You can return to base. You can return to base. You're on your way back. You can go back. And you can go back. That's a successful rescue, I would say. And now we can focus on our early warning helicopters. Looks like they might be to the south, but that could just be a helicopter, so we'll see. We will consult the Grand Orb. See what visions it blesses us with. And I think they'll have gotten back into formation now, which is decent. They maybe have got a new formation on the go there. Interesting choice. I don't think it matters. We're still 200 miles out. Okay, we're still not seeing anything. I am getting a little bit like, ooh, should be seeing something. The fact that I'm not is making me nervous. Come on. It's just one radar ping, so we have a rough location. This is when maritime patrol aircraft are extremely valuable. And again, it's why the American carriers are so much more powerful than the Minsk. So the Minsk, what the Minsk lacks in and there's still a helicopters we're on. The Minsk lacks in air capability, makes up for it in its surface standoff capability with its sandbox launchers, but at the end of the day, it means diddly squat if you can't see what you're supposed to shoot at, I suppose. So it is a bit annoying. We're going to bring the speed back to standard. We don't want to basically run into them is what I'm getting at there. I'm going to return you to refuel because I feel like you're going to about to run out of fuel soon as well. But before you do, I'm going to pop you up. Maybe you can see something before you have to return. Just more EM emissions. Oh, there we go. Right, 6 knots. I don't know if that's travelling in a convoy. 6 knots seems very slow for a convoy, but it might be a slow-moving convoy. Let's angle our big bulge radar. I don't think that'll have any effect, but maybe we're going to get a better view. These are all enemy helicopters that have been launched from the deck of their escorts. And the Minsk is now bringing the survivors aboard, which is always good. so we've got a large radar echo there, undoubtedly from part of the convoy. Just speed up until the end of its run, see if we get anything else. Just... that looks like the rough direction. We just need to determine whether or not that's a lone ship, or if that's a... see if I can dip down if we'll keep the connection. No. So we do need to be up at altitude to pick it up. Okay. Oh, there's... okay, there's the convoy there. Very large. This could be the cruiser. So this is most likely the cruiser. It could be the... what are the options here? I doubt it's not carriers, so those are carriers. It could be the Galveston. Could be the Virginia. It could be the Long Beach or the California. Probably not the Alaska. That's probably a merchant ship. In fact, let's have a look at the briefing, shall we, and see what it said was in this eastern-bound convoy. 1 convoy, 2 destroyers and escorts. Okay, so this I'm assuming might be a destroyer. Okay, very likely a destroyer. This I'm assuming is going to be the cruiser. And then this could be something else. Kind of need more information. How far are they from our strike group? 200 miles away. They're well within the range of our sandboxes. Ideally, we want to launch all of our sandboxes at once. That's definitely our cruiser, though. Okay, so what we might do, just based off of that information, is we might launch our sandboxes. We've been told we're getting a full resupply at port, so we've got no issue with expending our missiles. We could also try... are we in range for the Sepals? We are in range for the Sepals as well. So we might devote our Sepals to the merchant ships, which I'm assuming... I think that might be a destroyer. The ones on the wings are most doubtedly going to be the destroyers. This is going to be the cruiser. So these are going to be our priority targets. The rest we can probably mop up with aircraft. So we've got 8 sandboxes. I'm going to designate 4 for each destroyer, and then I think the sandboxes have auto-targeting as well. Let me just read the description of that again. Replace command data link. I'm trying to remember if these are the ones that designate their own target on approach. I think they might be. So we'll use the... I guess we'll use the Slava for this. And we got another radar contact there. Okie dokie. So we'll wait until the helicopter has to turn around. In fact, no we won't. We'll launch now. So the Slava, I'm going to have you launch... you've got 16, so 4, 8, 12. I just wish I could see the other destroyer. I know there's another destroyer there. And I'm kind of annoyed I can't see it. I think it's this destroyer's maybe blocking it. We'll try turning. It's another merchant ship. It's another merchant ship. Come on, give us another destroyer. Don't think we're going to get one, unfortunately. That is frustrating, because we know there's another one there. Right, let's fire our sandboxes then. For each target. We'll see how we get on. So we'll target the destroyers first. There they go. And we'll also launch. We'll launch from the Minsk as well, why not? We'll launch 4 from the Minsk towards this destroyer. And we'll make sure we're launching oh, look at them. Oh, look at the... wow, that's amazing. We'll launch another 4. at the cruiser. I'm not talking a lot right now because I am just admiring how cool that looks. There they go. Firing away towards the convoy. Okay, so I think, no, these are the ones that in fact take up the active data link to the closest ship. So I am right, that is what they do. So I guess then we will fire one off for each ship in the convoy then, shall we? And just allow it to self-designate. Since we're resupplying anyway. We'll leave 4 in reserve. And have we got any left on board the Minsk? Shall we check? We've got 4 on board the Minsk, so we've got 8 for a final salvo if we need to. So you can see there all of our sandbox missiles will be flying in formation. Look at that. It's so cool. It's so cool. Look at them go, man. That is crazy. Our early warnings just got the order to return back. I think we should be able to launch the... It's still on its return trajectory. Okay, that's fine. But where's our first one? Is the first one from the Vladivostok? No, they're both on return to base. I just can't see it for some... Oh, it's between the fighters. Okay, makes sense. So these will fly along its guided path, which we can just speed up for the sake of not watching these fly for hours and hours and hours. But you can see they're all in a big line here. Look at that, must be terrifying. Imagine seeing that on your radar. Anyway, once they get close enough to the target, they'll drop down. You can see they're actually doing it a little bit there. It's they are designed and programmed to dodge. You can see they've got around 60 miles to track. That cruiser most likely has detected them by now and has probably fired something at them. So hopefully they start their descent before those missiles reach, because we don't want to lose them on the way. And that would be most unfortunate. But with only 2 destroyers and a cruiser, I'm highly doubtful that this will be stopped. At least not entirely. They might take out like half. The US cruisers are very good at shooting these down. At long range, I should specify. They're not good when they're not at long range. They get defeated very easily. But I'm not sure how much longer we have to go before they start the descent. They are slowing down though. 1300, 1200. Okay, so they might actually now start their descent. They are still supersonic. They've got 45 track miles to run. Here they go. So they're now dodging and weaving. This is to throw off any incoming missiles, basically. Dodging as you would in a fighter aircraft. They're very smart missiles. You can see now that they'll... I can't even keep track of them. There's so many of them dodging and weaving. But you can see them doing circles. Some of them will loop round on each other. And it's just to cause pure confusion. There's the actual... there's the intercept missiles, probably from the cruiser. So you can see they've been dodging and weaving to try and avoid those. You can see obviously they're not being very successful because that one looks like it's missed. That one also looks like it's missed. These first 4 are now descending. And these will probably come in behind. 2,000 feet. Oh, I just heard the whiz of an interceptor go by. Looks like it missed. Good news for us. Still travelling now subsonic. Oh, look at all the interceptors. You can see all the streaks from up there. They're probably still targeting the ones behind us that are at like 30,000 feet. Or at least the cruiser probably is. But you can see they are descending now behind us. We've got 24 track miles. And soon these missiles will then descend, and then they'll descend into their terminal phase, which is sea skimming level. These are incredibly clever missiles, though. They're also quite good at avoiding jamming. So these should redirect to target. Oh, there's all the screenings there, actually. There we go. I really hope these aren't all going for this one target. Connection lost. Target. Why are you all target lost? I'll be very annoyed if they all go for this one target. Because ideally these missiles should target themselves. They might have tried to missile bait us. That would be most unfortunate. And there goes one missile. Intercepted by a... Oh, that's two unlikely intercepts there. That's very unusual. I'm interested to see what this is that's in front of us here. Was a... What is this? Is this a... Oh, please don't tell me you're... Oh, please tell me some of you are tracking over. Oh, that's rubbish. Oh, unbelievable. How many missiles we've just lost there. Okay, I'm hoping that these get the cruiser at the very least. Some of these need to go into the cruiser, because that was a massive waste of missiles. Looks like we've got two heading right for the cruiser. No Sea-Whiz. Okay, interesting. 4 right on the cruiser. That was the California. As the California's been destroyed there. Okay. Interesting. So we've taken out the heavy hitters there. We still need to take down this destroyer though, so good thing we keep missiles in reserve. That's what that's for. We'll launch the last 4 straight down the middle, shall we? Semi-large there. We'll launch 4 in this direction. And we'll launch the original 4 from the Minsk to the south of the convoy. There we go. Try and catch our missiles at launch as we can follow out of the tube. Let's see here. There we go. See the booster rockets there will fall off. That's just to give it its little boost. There they go. Wait for the clouds. Okay, hopefully this strike will be slightly more effective. Although we did manage to sink the California in the first go, so that's good. We did hit it like 4 times, a lot of damage along its side there. I was under the impression that I don't know why I thought the California had Sea-Whiz. It obviously doesn't. Interesting. My mistake. And their loss, apparently. There goes the California. So we took out a destroyer, the California. I didn't catch what that destroyer was. But we took out the California, so we took out the cruiser. Okay, I'm concerned that they've just done the exact same thing. They've all locked onto this radar contact. That is going to be so annoying, because I'm going to have to launch fighters. In fact, we should probably launch fighters anyway to clean up the merchant ships. So we'll launch 6 alert fighters. Anti-ship loadout. Ready them up. In fact, just take them off once they're ready to take off. And we should probably slow the fleet down, actually. Allow the helicopter to land. And then speed up in the meantime, while these missiles travel towards their targets. And there we go, the first of the aircraft off the deck. 2 VTOLs up here, Lednik 1. Lednik 3. Lednik 4. Okay, so you guys are going to be an individual flight. You're going to fly at 30,000 feet towards the convoy. Okay, second set of missiles now coming in. Oh, they're all at sea skimming altitude already. Okay, how many miles are you? 30 miles. Okay. Ah, yes, there we go. That's what they were supposed to do originally. You'll see that they've all been given their own independent target now to hit. That's what these missiles were meant to do, and they can be incredibly destructive. It looks like they've all targeted individual merchant ships. And I wonder if it'll give us a mission complete if we leave the escorts alone but take out the merchant ships. I'm actually unsure. I guess we'll find out. It also makes these much harder to intercept because these are all now tracking different trajectories, as it were. It's not as if the missiles are following one behind the other. But this should be the first ASW ship. Right into the side. Boom, that was a Nox. It's completely bypassed that one. Looks like the rest of these are all targeting merchant ships. This should basically take out the whole convoy, it looks like. Assuming none of them get intercepted. That's one merchant, two merchants, three merchants, four merchants, five merchants, six merchants. That was all of the merchant ships. Aye, 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 that was another just horrific strike. Aye, aye, aye. All the distress flares going up. Again, it just goes to show how devastating those strikes can be. So it looks like we've got 3 left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to angle the Admiral Falcon and send out some Sapals. Angle you to starboard. Like so. Just a high speed there. Okay, let's fire 2 at the... Actually, we probably shouldn't bother, should we? Probably a waste of time, actually. I'm not sure why you're not landing. It's probably because we're doing air ops, actually. That's probably what it was. Right, slow down, let your early warning helicopter land, for goodness sake. Right, you guys can head out at 30,000 feet. Tell you what, we'll launch 2 at the destroyer. It's got to align its search radar as well, you can see there. That's why I turn these ones early, because they are a bit finicky with the launch parameters for their Sepal missiles. Sepals are obviously not as good as the sandboxes, but is what it is. They're still anti-ship missiles. There they go. Again, these were the first gen missile cruisers, they're not as adaptable. Okay, you can return to the formation. Okay, I just want to make sure the Minsk isn't going to accidentally crash and cripple the Vladivostok while it's doing all this. Well, looks like the fleet should be relatively... I think the Vladivostok's finally trying to cross the T of the Minsk. I think that's what's going on anyway. Nope, it's given back up. Okay. Yeah, the Vladivostok does not know where it wants to be. It just keeps doing this. And it's freaking the Minsk out. The captain of the Minsk is probably very confused. Aye, aye, aye. What a mess. I think what we'll do is we'll just turn back north, shall we? How's our missiles doing? Missiles are now overtaking the aircraft. Good. Okay. Want the Minsk to proceed towards the harbour. Proceed at full speed. Please, please, please do not crash into each other. Okay, looks like they've understood that instruction at the very least. Okay, that was intercepted by the destroyer. Don't think any missile's going to get there before my aircraft do. And I don't even think my aircraft are going to end up in range. That could be a problem. Okay, so what I'll do in that case, since I have the opportunity to, is I'll just fire the rest of the missiles at the destroyer. It's good when you know you're going to get resupplied and you can waste the Soviet Union's infinite ammunition. There you go, so that's all their missiles are out. Leading 1 is not going to reach the target, unfortunately, so I'm just going to recall them. Actually, oh well, it might just be one of them don't reach, okay. In that case, you can keep going. But maybe hit the deck. There you go. Lower and lower and lower. I think it might be one of these. Yeah, so you two are not going to make it. But Leadnik 2 might be the one with the best chance. But I can't really risk popping them back up now because of the fuel consumption. Or because of the radar, I should say. Okay. Right down the bow. Again, can't really see for the clouds either. I think 4 and 3 are almost out of fuel. Leadnik 2 might be the best hope here. But again, I wish I remember what missiles they were intercepted with there. I think it was the B. It's not that one, it would be... It's obviously not a Spirit, it's maybe another Kid class destroyer, yeah. 25 nautical mile range. Let's see. There's the missile. Oh, only one hit. Oh, that's not good. That still leaves it very much intact. Oh, they're now trying to shoot down. I think there might have just been a secondary explosion there on the Adams, so there was. Okay, that might be enough then. Leadnik 2 is just booking it. Booking it out of there. The second set then will be coming in then for Leadnik 5. We'll definitely start coming in this direction, why don't you? Okay, Leadnik 2 looks like it made it out okay. Okay, let's keep you guys as you are just now. It looks like... What was that? Well, those are interception missiles flying right by us, oh my. Okay, maybe it's time we start decreasing our altitudes. Ever so slightly. Okay, guys look like you both have the range bringing you down to 20,000 feet. We've still got 2 anti-ship missiles coming in. Okay. Okay, 20,000 feet still has you in range. Barely.